Actually, it is credited, just not under my name. Good morning. Happy Easter, Lucas. Everybody say, Happy Easter, Lucas. Happy Easter, Lucas. He's like, yeah, whatever. Yes, I was in Ghost Stories, and I played a character that I kind of was afraid to play. And I got into the middle of it, I'm like, ooh, this is a kind of a, ooh. And I got scared that maybe I should not be credited, that my name, that I didn't want to see my name on it, if you know what I mean. So I called the director and I said, hey, can you make up a screen name for me for this show? And he's like, well, what do you want it to be? And I'm like, I don't care. Just, don't put my name on it. And he did. He made up a very funny one. Laura knows exactly what it is. You guys are not going to come anywhere, are you? Yes. Yeah.
My birthday was the 19th, and last year I tried to get you to sing happy birthday to me, but... You
tried to get me to? I've sung happy birthday like 4 times this weekend. Just this weekend.
In Tamaki's voice, please.
In Tamaki's voice, even. What is your birthday? What's your name, Steve?
Sabrina.
And when is your birthday?
The 19th. It was...
So it already happened, huh? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sabrina. Come to the host club and let me entertain you. Happy birthday to you. Get away from her, Kevin!
My birthday was yesterday.
I know it.
I'm watching the series. Okay.
You want to hear a story about One Night Crime? I was contacted by Bang Zoom in Los Angeles to be in that show, and I did a little research, and I decided that it was a little too dark for me, and I refused to be a part of it. I never got that far. They just contacted me about being in it, and they said, it's pretty hard-hitting though, let us know. And so I looked into it a little bit, and I was like, ooh, wow. better pass on this one. So, yes, but, yes. Oh, wait a minute, you already asked one. I love you, but let's try to spread it out. Yes, sir. Sorry.
Brotherhood was the first one, which one?
That's a good question. Between the 2 Full Metal series, which is my favorite? You know what, to be honest with you, this may surprise you to hear this, but I don't see them as separate. To me, it's one big giant adventure. To me, this is Ed, and this is Ed on this adventure, and now this is Ed and his brother on a new adventure. They're meeting new people, they're going to new places, but it's all a big adventure for the brothers. So I never really differentiated. I mean, I don't in my mind. When we started recording Brotherhood, I'm like, okay, this is my boy. I know this kid, I know this role, and of course, I was excited though because now here's Ed, but he's doing new things, and he's meeting new characters like Lane, and the different, and what's Armstrong's sister's name that runs Briggs, and all of these new characters, and he's going to Xerxes and all these new places, and he's not wearing his red coat. He's wearing that cool duster, that beige dusters. I mean, I was so excited because to me it was like the same characters, but for me. Now I know there are other characters that are not the same. I understand that, but for me, it was just new adventures for Ed. Yes, all the way in the back. When did I first start voice acting? Discovered? I was not discovered, I don't think. I was working on a video production in Houston, Texas. And I was working with a guy whose name you might recognize, actually, because he's done a massive amount of anime work. His name is John Grimion. It's spelled like Vermilion. I'm sure you've seen it in a lot of credits. John actually played, you guys remember the Conqueror of Shambhala, Full Metal movie? He played the Huskisson, the guy at the very beginning that Ed shows up with the helmet and fights Huskisson. He played Huskisson, and he's done a lot of work. But he was already working for ATV Films in Houston, and he and I were working on a video, and he said, hey, you have a lot of acting experience, don't you? And I said, yeah, I've been doing it since I was very young. And he said, you ought to go and audition for this place in town. They buy these Japanese animated shows, and they dub them into English, and they need actors. And I thought, wow, that sounds fun. What do they do with them? And he's like, I don't know. It's just fun. And so when I was a little kid, I loved Speed Racer and Kim of the White Lion, and I thought, that sounds like cool. So I went and auditioned, and I got cast as Vega in Street Fighter 2. And then another show came along, and I was in that one. I don't even remember. It was like Nadesco, Gasaraki, this is old school. And then Sayuki. But I didn't even know what they did with the stuff. I really didn't. I didn't know, what do they sell it somewhere? I guess they sell it, right? Because you gotta make a living. But where do they sell it? I don't even know. And occasionally they would give me a VHS tape of the shows. This is before they started releasing it on DVD. And I didn't even know where they sold it. I'm like, is it in a store? Do you buy it online? I mean, what do they do with it? I never even knew. I just did it for fun. And then somebody invited me to an anime convention as a guest in Columbus, Ohio. And I went to this convention, and I was absolutely blown away by, oh my gosh, this is a character I play. And oh my gosh, look at that wall scroll. That's a character I play. I can't believe all the merchandise. And the fans like knew work that I'd done, and they dressed up as characters I'd played and stuff. And at this point, I hadn't done anything like really huge. I was in like a Generator Gull and Sayuki and Full Metal Panic, Chris Webber, but I hadn't done a lot yet. And it just kind of snowballed. And I was just very, very blessed to actually be on the ground floor of anime when it kind of exploded about 6 or 7 years ago. And suddenly it was on cable television and network television, and it was in Best Buy and Walmart and Target, and that's how I stumbled into it, literally. I never planned on it. It just kind of took me by surprise. Yes?
I was just wondering, spoiler-free for the people who don't know, the people who do know what I'm talking about. How do you feel about the ending of Brotherhood and...
I love it. You guys, I absolutely love it. And you know what's funny? Is I kind of saw it coming. How many of you have watched the end of Brotherhood subtitle? Okay, good. So a lot of you haven't seen it. Well, let me just tell you something. Without giving anything away, they tie up all the loose ends. They do exactly what you wish they would have done in the first series. Like, they left a lot of unanswered questions in the first series. But you see, in Brotherhood, Arakawa Sensei, who wrote it and created it, she knew this was the end. I mean, she started writing the manga with an end in mind. So rather than doing this, and then, we're done, and we stop making it. Without, like, what? But the story's not over. They do that in anime a lot, right? The story's going along, and then suddenly they lose money, or they just decide to stop making it. And there's no resolution to the story. There are all these things left hanging. Arakawa knew that Brotherhood was they wanted an ending. They wanted to end the series, and so she wrote it with an end in mind. And the last scene, oh my God, you guys, you're gonna love it. I adored it. I adored it. I can't wait for it to be broadcast. Yes.
Ow! He's not gonna pick on me. He's not gonna pick me.
Yes, I do play Grease.
Can you say something in a different voice?
Like what I just did? Yes. I am Grease. And I'm very excited right now. This is me being excited. And now I am sad. I think there's no change. I mean, he just never changed. Like, I'm happy. I am sad. I am terrified. Yes?
What's your favorite kind of bloomers?
My what? Favorite kind of bloomers? You mean as in underwear? Bloomers? Do people even wear bloomers anymore? Are you wearing bloomers right now? Yeah, baby. Oh, behave. Last time I saw bloomers was like on a movie or something. Like, wow. I didn't even know there were different kinds of bloomers. What do you mean that was your favorite kind of bloomer?
Baby bloomers.
What?
Full eater, baby bloomers.
Oh! Full eater! I see you're appealing to that perverted death site, aren't you? Oh, I love Death Site too, believe me. He was so much fun. Oh, he's such a little freak, you know? I often think of Death Site as kind of an older, sad Tamaki. Like, you know what I mean? Like when he was in high school, he was the man, you know what I mean? He was smooth, right? All the girls and stuff. And then he grew up. And he kept trying to do it, and he wasn't any good at it anymore. And he just became kind of this sad old guy, pervert guy. But that's just kind of my own little joke thing. But yes, sir. Not yet. Did you not know? Yes, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people don't know that. Did you know that there is a Full Metal Alchemist movie that follows Brotherhood? There's a preview online, and it looks like all steampunky and stuff. It's awesome. I can't wait to do it. And you know what? It will be very bittersweet, because once I record that, it's really done. I mean, it'll be over. Yeah, I mean, there won't be any more Edward Elric. So.
Are you finally gonna hook up with Winry?
What? They'll remake it, yeah, and I'll be like, Full Metal Alchemist! Hello? Happy Easter, sweetheart! She just passed out. She says thank you. Say hi, Michelle. Yeah, that's you. Hi, strangers.